Okay guys, welcome back to the Talking News. We are going to talk about more of the details in Patrick Frazee and Kelsey Berreth case. Try to find out more of what's going on with, the sealed documents, about the court date, and if they will release more information February 19th. But first, I want to go over a few things. It's been almost 3 months since Kelsey Berreth has been missing. Police believe that the flight instructor to be deceased, and they arrested Patrick Frazee, a cattle farmer in Colorado connected to Kelsey's disappearance. Not too long ago, Krystal Lee, a friend of Patrick Frazee, come forward now to believe that she is a second suspect who helped him hide evidence. And, she just had a court hearing where she pleaded guilty to helping Patrick Frazee hide Kelsey Berreth's phone. So she definitely was helping the cattle rancher Patrick Frazee hide evidence in the Kelsey Berreth case. So some of the information that I have is that she was in Woodland Park area in Colorado from the dates the 22nd through the 25th, although details are still on the lockdown. Krystal Kinney/Lee is from Idaho. She's a nurse, and she drove from her home state, Idaho, to Colorado to meet Patrick Frazee, where she said she exchanged Kelsey Berreth's phone and drove back to Idaho somewhere around the 23rd through the 25th of November with Kelsey Berreth's phone. As I mentioned before, Krystal she has admitted to helping a friend hide evidence of a missing mom, Kelsey Berreth, because she feared for her life. But according to Krystal Lee's best friend, she did an interview recently, and she was asked some pretty personal questions of what she knew about Krystal and Patrick's relationship. And one of those questions asked her if Krystal and Patrick had sexual relations. And it turns out the way that she answered that, most likely when Krystal come to Woodland over the Thanksgiving holidays, during the time Kelsey Berreth disappeared, they had a sexual encounter. Of course, that's a rumor. I can't prove that. But this is a woman that said that she was deeply, legitimately in fear for her life if she did not do this for Patrick Frazee. But to me, the truth of whether or not she did do an act as having a sexual encounter when she come to visit to help him hide an evidence, a phone, to me it's key whether she was doing it for love or passion, or this was just plain straight up an act of crime and evil. So the reason Krystal told us that she done it was she was very, very scared. A very, very scared woman who helped dispose of a dead, innocent mother's phone. A man who is now charged and behind bars awaiting court will be facing the consequences of his actions, and a friend that turned on him very shortly. And I'm sure a lot of us are looking forward to it. I mean, I know you guys, you know some things. You probably, you can tell there's some foul play going on here, and probably a lot of lies. And I'm very curious. I haven't seen much on what you guys think about Krystal, and I wish I knew what you guys think. I don't want to feel alone here. Now, as for Patrick Frazee, his hearing has been delayed from January 29th until February 19th. And this is because Frazee and his attorney requested it. So they needed a lot more time to go over the affidavit and figure things out, because he knows he's in deep doo-doo. And he's in over his head. He knows there's a lot he's going to have to face here shortly. And just he has to deal with felony charges, including first degree and murder charges and solicitation to commit murder in first degree. So he has a lot he's facing. Documents in the case will remain sealed until the court releases it. Patrick Frazee has had many of the community friends backing him, and they show up to court. Gilda Dellinger, I think that's her last name, I'm terrible with names, says he's always been so kind and helpful. But you guys know, I mean, we got all Krystal Lee coming forward. Evidence says otherwise. In fact, guys, I don't think there's ever been a killer on this earth that's ever walked about every day slashing and bashing people in the open. I mean, I don't know what people expect out of a killer. The truth of the matter is, most killers, when the evidence comes out, it shocks people. Disbelief hits the majority of the social circle that they're in. They didn't realize how close they were to a killer in most cases. And as I said, most killers, they don't go walking around saying, "Hi, I feel like killing somebody today." So, and it's growing. I mean, the murder rates are just growing and growing. And it's only going to get worse. And it seems like, especially with, in the cases we have lately, especially in Colorado, these women that are taking part in there and these acts seem to be getting away with it quite easily. And as long as we keep sending the message that they have these great rights, they're going to continue to do it. Now, as for back to Patrick Frazee, you know, he realizes how much trouble he's in. His defense realizes how much trouble he's in. And by now, he's got to be, you know, making a dirty in his pants, knowing that Krystal Lee has come forward. It is not going to be pretty. He most likely realizes that he will be facing some prison time, but you can believe he's the type of guy that will go down swinging. He isn't going to give up easily. So I hope that February 19th, we will find out. The motion to unseal the documents will be heard at the conclusion of that day. And you can believe that Patrick is fighting to keep media and the public from knowing anything. He's going to make sure to limit the pre-trial publicity, definitely. Courts have also, what I've read is the courts have denied expanded media coverage. Okay, you can pause this video at any time as well and read the clips I put up here for you. The courts have denied expanded media coverage. Expanded media coverage will not be permitted at the February 19, 2019 preliminary hearing proof evident perception Greek hearing. So expanded media coverage is only permitted at advisement or arraignment. Oops, I lost my spot out there. It says here you can get the documents, but I'll try to post a link for you. I hope I don't forget. And I have a few that I want to post on here as well. You can pause and look over yourself. I probably won't spend a lot of time going over it, to be honest with you. I'm not into law much, so I'm not really familiar with it. There's not a lot of information out explaining what is going on as far as the media coverage. Basically, his arraignment will be his first time really being where he'll be required to make a plea and go over all the evidence and the documents and things like this. I'll go over a few things here. So, like standards before trial. Some legal standards aren't used by jurors at trial, but by judges who just make determinations at pretrial hearings, right? So in most criminal cases, there are like two standards that they use, which are reasonable suspicion and probable cause. And so these two standards are they're most often used when defendants file motions to suppress evidence or at preliminary hearings. I think they also entail determination of probable cause. Okay, as I mentioned before, I'm not very good at law. I don't know much about it, but I am learning. I'm about to close this out. I have some new information that I'm working on. I work really hard on this stuff, and the reason I can is because I've gotten sick, and I don't want to go into details, but you know, I enjoy doing this. It helps me get through the day. I'm like sharing with everybody. If you like this, then please subscribe. If you don't, then that's okay. You don't have to. I want to say thank you so much for watching, and those of you that have subscribed and the people that comment, like my buddy Joe, thanks, hun. And I guess I will see you soon. I think also, before I forget, I've got a series that I'm working on. Now those will take longer to pull out because they'll have a lot more detail in them. So, okay, I have some new information on the motive, and I'm going to share that here right now before I close out. All right, so Denver CBS 4 says, new court documents filed on the federal court Friday suggest a possible motive for Kelsey Berreth's death. And in my earlier videos, I have discussed what I thought the motive was, and it seems that might be it. I'm sure you guys thought it was as well. Berreth's parents are bringing the wrongful death lawsuit against her fiance, Patrick Frazee. So Berreth's parents allege that Frazee murdered their daughter because she refused to give him full custody of the 1-year-old daughter, Kaylee, which we have discussed in earlier videos. And I think most of us women pretty much caught on as to that was the true motive, and not so much that Krystal Lee, her romance affair, was not the motive in this case. So anyways, the complaint reads and continues by alleging that Patrick Frazee told Berreth's mother, Cheryl Lee, several lies, knowing that Kelsey was dead because he had killed her or caused her to be killed on November 22nd of 2018. Now, I just found a 9-page document on this where it goes in a lot more detail. So what I'm going to do is close this video out here, and I'm going to make one right now. It should be up within the next few hours over talking about those documents, and they're quite interesting. So stick around. I want to say thanks so much for watching, guys, and y'all have a good weekend.